What is going on, amazing coaches? Ryan here, and welcome to this tutorial today, which will be the most important tutorial that you go through and watch in your entire coaching business life, the foundations. It's called Premium Structure, and we're going to be going through how to create a passionately profitable coaching program. And it sounds simple, a passionately profitable. However, 90% of coaches aren't set up passionately profitable. Most are set up passionately, but the profitability part usually lacks. And so in this tutorial today, we're going to be covering two things: niche and program. How to create a profitable niche and how to set up a premium program that allows you to serve that niche to the highest level. And so this is very simple. It comes across very, I guess, basic, or a lot of people don't want to focus on this area. But if I could choose one area to set coaches up with, if I could choose any of the content pieces, we've got close to 400 tutorials in our membership site for our premium program. And if I could choose any of the tutorials or out of all the stuff to teach, if I could teach a coach one thing, it'd be premium structure. And so even though it might not be the what you want to know, trust me when I say it's the what you need to know. 90% of coaches fail because they don't have this set up right. Setting up the structure is the most important thing. You can sprint as fast as you want, but if you're sprinting away from where you want to go, then you're not going to get there unless you go around the whole world, and you will stop before you get to that point. So it is important in this sense, and with that metaphor, we want to run in the right direction, and this will help us get on that right direction. So, niche and program, the two things that we're going to be getting right. And we're going to start with understanding that the problem at this point is that we don't have any leads. Even though we're talking about foundations here, the reason that the foundations are so important is because they determine the results we get in other areas. They determine our sales and marketing results. And the problem at this point, or the frustration, is we don't have leads. We don't have sales. We don't have cash flow. And we will fail as a coach if we don't get this structure right. However, if we can focus on spending a set amount of time asking great questions, getting great learnings and understanding about structure, commit ourselves to that process and get through this and get the right premium structure set up, we will get easy leads, easy sales, easy money, and we're going to have the right platform to be able to dominate from. We have the right platform. There is nothing worse than putting in all this effort and getting little return. And that's what most coaches do for this reason. So without talking about that anymore, how important this is, let's just get straight into it. So first and foremost, what we need to nail is niche. Okay. The first aspect of finding a profitable niche, and like I said, it has to be passionate and it has to be profitable, is we need problem. Okay. Problem demand. We need a problem. So if we think about us locking in a niche is a target audience. It's a group of people that we're going to target. We need to first make sure that the people that we are targeting have a problem that for them is so painful that they are willing to invest a premium amount solving that problem. It needs to be a problem that people want solved. Now, for most people and most coaches, they're not targeting a problem at all. They're usually targeting a problem that they have in their head, but not a problem that the consumer has in their own head. And this is what leads to demand. This creates a demand. If we don't have a problem, we don't have demand. And without demand, people don't want our stuff. It was interesting because when I used to play golf growing up, the main thing that I found a really cool part of the experience was getting to play with really successful people. I would put myself down on the timesheet. I was part of a members club, put myself down on the timesheet with 3 other random golfers. And a lot of the time they were successful business people. So this is when I was between the ages of 13 and kind of 16 and even 17, I would say. So I would rock up on a Saturday morning ready to play some golf as let's say a 15-year-old. Get partnered up with the guy. Hey, what do you do? I own a glue factory. And, I'd get talking, and by the end of the round, I would have found out that there were 400 employees, that the business was turning over $20 million. And I'm thinking, what on earth is going on here? How can someone be so successful from glue? And so it's the most abstract thing. steel factory, glue factory. I make nuts and bolts. It's like I run a logistics business. I'm thinking, how do these guys get into this? Like, who puts their hand up and says, I want to make glue when they're older? But the reason they were successful was because people actually want that stuff. And then I contrast that with my running of a digital agency before I started winning. This business is almost 4 years old. And for the 4 years before that, I bounced around in lots of other different businesses as well. And I ran a digital agency at times. And a lot of the target market that I attracted, because I was so into personal development, were coaches, fitness coaches, life coaches, consultants. And so I remember speaking to these guys, and it was very rare that I would meet someone that's actually successful. And I thought, why don't people like, why are these great people with great intentions wanting to change lives not getting results? Whereas I speak to someone that runs a glue factory that are doing $20 million a year. How does that work? And it works because there was demand. There's demand for logistics. People want it. There's demand for glue. People want it. There's demand for steel. People want that. And so the reason that people and coaches struggle to get results is because people don't want coaching. They don't know what a life coach is. They don't know what a career coach is. People haven't heard of these terms, these phrases. And sometimes they have, but they have no idea what they do. And so if you go to the average life coach's website, one of the tabs at the top of the website that they paid $5,000, $10,000 for, waste of money in my opinion, uh, is one of the tabs says, what is life coaching? Now, if people don't even know what life coaching is, they're not going to go searching for a life coach. It's as simple as that. And so that is death of the life coach there. That is the reason they don't succeed, because they're not targeting someone that has a problem and helping them with that problem. They're targeting people, and their problem that they're solving is something that people don't even know what they have. So a relationship coach is selling a femininity course, when a woman that's not finding the man of her dreams doesn't go around looking and going, cool, I want to do a femininity course. They don't know that the problem is masculine and feminine dynamics. They don't know that as being a successful, driven woman, that they're emasculating all the guys they're catching up with, and therefore are struggling to create that chemistry that happens with the polarization between masculine and feminine energy. They don't know that. They're selling the ingredients. They're selling what people need, not what they want. So what one of the most important phrases that you'll ever hear when it comes to marketing is sell them what they want, give them what they need in terms of marketing for coaches. Because sometimes what people want and what they need is the same thing. Some people, like if you're selling a hammer and they want to put nails into a wall, they want a hammer because they need a hammer, and they're right. When it comes to solving problems, a lot of the time they don't know the solution when it comes to coaching, because it's such an abstract thing. What you do is amazing. It is unique. It's different. And so you need to target someone with a massive problem, a problem that they think that are in their head. So someone that hates their body, hates their business, hates their career, hates being single, hates their relationship. They're all problems, massive problems that they are willing to solve, to invest in, if for them it's the biggest thing holding them back in their mind, not yours. That's the first thing. The second one is promise. Okay. Promise. You need to sell them a massive promise, something that they care about, a problem that they care about solving, and a promise that they care about achieving. A promise, a big, tangible promise. If someone comes up to you and you're solving the right problem, you help people who are struggling with their weight and they hate their body. Okay, so that's a problem, and that's a problem that they want to solve. That's why there's so many diets out there that are big and successful. That's why weight loss pills are successful. That's why liposuction is successful, because people want the results and they want it now. They want the outcome. But if you go to them and say, "Hey, I'm a weight loss coach," and it's like you work with me and get some coaching, it'll really help you. Now that's enticing because yeah, they want help. Yeah, it's a weight loss coach, but there's no urgency. If you say to someone, you do this and you will achieve the body of your dreams and you will keep it for life. That is a promise that they are willing to invest in. And is there urgency? Yes. So if you ever have somebody, oh, just think about it, I'm not 100% sure, it's because you don't have a promise that's strong enough. So for example, in our 12-month program, we've got a legal guarantee that if you're not making $100,000 per year, if you're not making $100,000 per year in your coaching business, then by the end of the 12 months, so you're not making at least $2,000 a week, then we'll refund you in full. How's that for a promise? It is tangible and it is big, and is what we need. And lastly, you need proficiency, which is trust, proficiency. Now, problem and promise is all about what it's about what's going on in their head. It's all about what's going on in their head. Are you proficient at helping them achieve the outcome? That is about what's going on in your head, because you've got to sell them what they want, the solution to the problem, and the promise that is exactly what they want, the outcome. So that's problem and promise. And the third P of a profitable niche is proficiency. You need to be proficient at getting them from the problem and promise point. So a lot of coaches will fail because they're not actually proficient at delivering outcomes, so they sell ingredients. They don't know they can help someone actually get back to the honeymoon phase in their relationship or create a fairy tale relationship. So they're not selling that. They're selling a masculine and feminine energy workshop, or they're selling how to overcome fear, or they're selling leadership in a coaching business, in a big organization, not the outcome, not improving the bottom line, which is what they want. And so you need to be proficient at taking them from problem to promise. And if you are, then they will trust you. Now, if they can sense that you're not proficient at helping them achieve the outcome via the conversations that you're having, if they don't sense that you're an expert and that you're good enough at delivering results, then they will get a vibe. It's not tangible, it's an intangible energy that you are not good enough and that they lack trust. They will lack trust. They won't sense it with you. Okay? They lack trust. And so you need to have problem, promise, and proficiency so that you can have a demand for what you're offering, which is where most coaches fail. You can have urgency for people to want to do your course, and they trust you enough to want to join your course. And if you have those three elements, problem, promise, and proficiency, we are sweet. Problem, promise, proficiency. A problem that's painful enough. A promise that is big and tangible enough. And proficiency where you can get people to the results every time they do the work. That's how you know you're proficient. Every time someone does the work in your course, they get results. And so we need trust, urgency, and demand. That's the first thing. The second thing we need to do to get a profitable niche is we need to layer what I call the common sense cap onto this. So the secret, it's not the secret, it's the common sense. All the time we're looking for what is the flashbang, whiz bang, crazy outlier niche that no one's heard of. It's not about that. If there's a lot of people doing it, that means there's a lot of demand, and all you need to do is be better than the person next to you, which is very easy in this space because most people aren't great at delivering outcomes, which is why they don't have the proficiency and people don't trust them, is the common sense cap. And what we need to do after we've created the niche. So if someone's got a massive problem that's holding them back, but they don't know about it, or let's say, for example, if you're targeting people who have crazy depression, really bad depression, they're on the dole and their life's in ruins and they don't want to change, common sense cap says we're not going to be able to help them. Yeah, because they don't want to change. Yeah. If we were to help kids that are in high school and struggling, and the biggest problem holding them back in their life is they're not confident. And we want to do confidence coaching. And they know it's confidence, which they wouldn't, but let's pretend they do. And we go, that's the niche. It's the biggest problem holding them back is their confidence. Well, is it the biggest problem holding them back in your head or their head? My head. So it's not, because the problem and promise is about what's happening in their head. The proficiency is about what's happening in your head. You don't sell them. You don't teach them what they need, what they want. You teach them what they need. You get them outcomes. And so the common sense is that we need to go, you know what? Will people actually pay for this course? If I'm targeting this audience, will they pay for help? Will they pay for help? That's a really good way to audit the niche. So let's say, for example, you go, I want to help high school kids with their confidence. And let's pretend that they do want that. They don't, but let's pretend they do. And they go, or let's say, for example, you're helping teenage boys with dating coaching advice, helping them get good with girls. Common sense cap says that they're not going to pay more than 2K for a course. So boom, failed. Yeah. So we got to use our common sense cap to go, would people actually pay for this? Would people pay for it? If you could promise the outcome, not would people pay for my course, because then your own insecurity comes in, but if I could click my fingers and they'd have this result, the body of their dreams and keep it for life, would they pay for that? Well, people are willing to pay $20 for liposuction. So if you can charge them 5K to learn how to lose the weight and keep it off for life and build a routine they can keep for life, is that worth 5K? Well, common sense cap says yes. Next, stalk niche. So the last factor to having a really profitable area or a really profitable niche is you need to stalk them. You need to understand them enough to be able to market to them. So if we look at this graph for a second, we look at the factors. We've got short and long-term motivators, and we've got negative or away from motivators and toward positive motivators. Okay, we need to understand this to be able to stalk and understand the niche better than they know themselves. So we need to know their short-term away from motivators. What are their problems? What are their frustrations? What's in their mind that's pissing them off? Because once we understand that, it'll help us market to them. Solutions. What are the short-term towards motivators? What do they want? So if it's fitness coaching, they want the fun workout or the quick workout. They want to know the fat loss foods. What are the solutions they want? And then long-term. What is the away from motivators? What are the nightmares? We want to know what's keeping them up at night. We want to know what their worst case scenario is, that they lose weight and they're single for life. Yeah. They can't lose weight and they remain single for life. What are their dreams? To have a big bikini body, to take their shirt off at the beach and just be sexy, right? What are the big dreams they have as well? Awesome. So that's niche. And the bottom line, it can be summarized by, we want demand. We want to be creating a course that people want to pay for. We don't want to be creating something and selling something that they don't know about. We want to sell an outcome that they care about, that they're willing to invest in to solve. So let's now look at program. How do we make that? How do we create a premium program? Well, the first thing that we need to understand, which is so important, is that we need to have one program. So many people are out there, and this is what usually happens. They want one marketing strategy that generates unlimited leads, that allows them to get new clients, and they create infinity monetization strategies. I'll have this little course, I'll have this book, I'll make money from that. I'll make money from my cheap membership site. I'll make money from doing one-to-one coaching that's premium on the side. I'll do a workshop to corporate, and I'll do retainer clients for corporate. They want a million different ways to make money, but they want one marketing strategy. We need to flip this. This is a big awakening moment that is so liberating. Instead of having one marketing strategy and a bunch of monetization strategies, we have a bunch of marketing strategies, because marketing you're not going to get right straight away. But the monetization strategy, we have one ring to rule them all, one program to rule them all. I.e., if everyone else in your space is creating programs left, right, and center, they never get good enough to become the best in the world. I'll create this workshop. Yeah, it's great. It's a great workshop, or it's a great seminar, or it's a great membership site, or it's a great book, or it's a great workshop, or whatever it is, or 12-month course, or 6-week course, plus I want a 6-month course, plus I want one-to-one coaching, plus retainer clients. Instead of having all these different things that are great, but not the best in the world, we have all these different ways, because you're never going to master the marketing strategy straight away. We're going to have heaps of marketing strategies. We're going to be testing all the time and getting better and better and better and mastering marketing. And we're going to have one single monetization strategy, one program to rule them all, the best in the world. And it is so liberating. It takes so much effort to run one program, let alone 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. I met a lady at one of my seminars once who had written 7 books. She was trying to sell them all. Plus she did one-to-one, plus she did this, plus she was in massive debt. So if you can create one program and just focus on one, that's it, just one program. Make it the best in the world. It can be a 6, 8, or 12-week course. It could be a 12-month course. And we'll talk about a lot of this on the call. What I call a keystone product is a 6, 8, or 12-week course that ranges between $1,000 and $10,000, or a core program that's a 3, 6, or 12-month course that ranges from $5,000 to $50,000. If we can have one course, we can concentrate on making it better and better and better and better. And if you look at our program, our 12-month program, I've been running that for 3 years. So the reason it's world-class is not because I'm so good and I created this thing from scratch. I've recreated this program many times. I've laid in system after system after system, content after content after content, innovating, updating, improving. We started just with me running the course in a leveraged way, because that's how I got told to do it elsewhere. Create a big leverage mastermind. Just do webinars. That's enough for them. Just do this, just do that. And it's like just trying to avoid the hard work. Now what do we have? We've got sales coaches, marketing coaches. We've got strategists. We have performance coaches that help our clients with accountability for 1 to 7 times a week. There's all these different things that we do because we've realized what we need to do to make it better. That's what you're always going to do. Our coaching program is the best coaching program in the world for coaches because we get results. That's why we guarantee 2,000. You'll be making 100. You have $100,000 business by the end of the first 12 months. Because we've had one program where we've continued to evolve it and innovate it, where everyone else is chopping and changing, a new thing, new that, new niche, focused on one monetization strategy, one course. Goal is simple: the best in the world for your niche, the best course in the world for your niche. Liberating. That's why it's premium. That's why it's premium. Secondly, become the best. Don't start the best, become the best. You need to accept that it's going to take you longer than what you think to be the best. And what coaches usually do is they'll go, I can't offer this premium program. It's okay. Because what you lack in systems, you make up for with your time. Because you don't have a lot of clients. You're new, you're fresh. Time's your best friend. When you've got 100 clients, you need systems, you need team members. So become the best. Your course is not going to be the best in the world straight away. But you're going to make up for that with your one-on-one time, and they're going to get the best experience in the world. Some of my happiest clients I've worked with were the ones at the start when I didn't even have a program. Because I was starting out, everything was fresh and new, but they loved it because I put so much effort into helping them. Now I've got the most amazing program that's working with 23 team members in our business at this point. And while you're watching this, it'll probably be a lot more now. But we've got the best program in the world. And it's getting better and better and better and better. It'll probably take us another 18 months to get it to a point where I'm really, really, really happy with it. Like, really happy with it. So you're not going to start the best, but you got to set a goal to become the best. What you need to realize is it needs to be premium. I mentioned this before, but your course is going to be minimum $2,000. Minimum $2,000. I said $1,000 to $10,000 before, but I prefer it to be minimum $2,000. So you can have either a Keystone product or a core program. Here's how they're different. Keystone program. A Keystone program is a 6, 8, or 12-week course that delivers a specific outcome. It's process driven. For the 6, 8, and 12 weeks, you've got a set process, content weekly in a set agenda, and it ranges, let's say, between $2,000 and $10,000 in terms of price point. 6, 8, or 12-week course. I'll talk about how to make the course amazing soon, but you need to be premium. The second one is a core program. That's 3, 6, or 12 month. Most of the time it's 12 months. Most of the time for the Keystone, it's 8 weeks. But for the core program, most of the time it's 12 months. It's not process driven. It's not a start and end point. It's modular. So that means people can come in at any point and pick up and onboard into the process, up ramp into the process and become and join and be a part of everyone else. It's also ongoing. Your program, if you've got a core program, it's ongoing, meaning that you will continue to have people start and then finish and keep going. So they'll re-sign, they'll go through for an extended period of time. The core program is anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000. It's a lot more premium. Okay, so let's just say the general core program will be a 12-month, $10,000 to $15,000 program, and the Keystone will be an 8-week, $2,000 to $5,000 program. It's the general rule of thumb. So you'll have one of those two options most likely. However, in your strategic session, you will map that out you'll get a really good rough idea of what that's going to be in this coaching business overhaul process. But you need to be premium. As soon as you go premium, you 10x your business straight away. If you're doing one-to-one coaching and you're charging $250 an hour and then you build a $5,000 program, it's the same amount of effort to make the $5,000 sale as it is to make the $250 sale. Same amount. It's 20 times the return. Why? Because you're delivering outcomes. You're not delivering an hour-long session. You're selling an outcome, a result. Really important. The next principle, launch then build. You must start off by launching first. Most people build first. Most coaches can be symbolized by them building a course that's never going to launch, building a workshop that's never going to launch. I've seen it so many times, it's not funny. So it's like if you're in school and you had a homework assignment that didn't have a due date, how long would it take you to do the homework? Forever. That's what happens to coaches. There's no urgency. And because the biggest problem that stops people from committing to their coaching business is self-worth, because that's the biggest thing holding them back from committing to their business, that self-worth problem. When they're second guessing their abilities, what do you think they're going to do? Put more or less effort into building their course? More effort. All they want to do is make the course the best, but it's never going to be the best at the start because you don't know what your target market want until they're in the program. So you need to launch first. You set a launch date, let's say an average of 12 weeks away, 6 or 12 weeks away. That's when we're doing our first round. So what we do is we set the course launch date, we create a plan that takes a couple of hours to create, and we'll create that plan for you. Your action plan, your Kickstart plan, all the marketing campaigns you need to launch, how many sales calls you need to do. Exactly, you just follow it step by step and you'll get results. You then create your blueprint for what your course is going to look like. So we map it out. We know what we're building, we just haven't built it yet. And then we execute the action plan, not build the course, the action plan. So we launch first. So 12 weeks away, we're launching this course and we spend 11 and a half weeks getting clients. So let's say we get 10 clients. So then in 12 weeks time, we have 10 clients ready to start. We've got half a week to get it ready. So in that half week, we build the first week's tutorials. Maybe there's like 3 videos. We do those 3 videos in half a week. And then we put them into the membership site. They do while they're in week 1, we create week 2. While they're in week two, we create week 3. When they're in week 3, we create week 4. And so what does that do? That creates extra urgency, but it also gets us quick cash flow. Because let's be honest, is your course going to get created quicker if you've already got clients waiting to start, or if you don't have a launch date? Oh my gosh. I've seen coaches spend 2 years creating a workshop. 2 years. I'm not even joking. That doesn't mean that person's an idiot. It just means they're scared. They're not backing themselves, which is every coach starting out. So what do? We launch first and then build. Okay. Most people start off, if we look at this, this is what we need to do. What we need to do is go, you, meaning your quality is really high up. You spend the time. Your systems suck at the start, but as the systems increase, you decrease your involvement. What most people do though, is they try to have really good systems and solid them at the start. And because they're concentrating so much on systems, they don't have time to build their actual business. And so what they do is they try to get the system perfect to begin with, spend ages doing it, and then they're scared to change it because it took them so damn long to get the system right in the beginning in their mind that changing it seems like such a big headache. Whereas if you launch it, then changing it, you're nimble, you're fast, you're quick, you're innovating. And so what people do is it starts off with good quality for the systems and a little bit from them. And then they get disheartened because they didn't want to spend time. They were creating the system so good that it would do the work for them. And so they don't have to put any effort in. So their effort's less. And the systems get worse and worse because they don't change them because they're scared of changing it because it took so much time to get it right in the first place. As opposed to low quality systems to begin with. Just get it started, but you make up for it with your epic time that you're spending because you're happy to spend the time starting out. And then you decrease your involvement as the systems get better. Make sense? It's really important. Lastly, nail the program. This is what I call the 4 F's of a world-class program. And listen carefully to this because this is a secret to having a program that's premium, that's world-class. So first and foremost, why do we want a world-class program? Well, we want referrals and we want retention. If we look at the outside, why do we want referrals and retention? Yeah, because it's going to grow our business. That's why we want our program to be awesome. We want to retain people. We want them to be happy clients. We want them to refer people. They love it so much. What do we need to do to achieve that? We need to create results and we need to create an experience. We need to create results. We need to create an experience. Now, if we look at the how part here, because there's 2 things. We need them to get results, but there also needs to be a fun part of the process. Like they need to love it. They really need to love it. So how do we do that? Well, there's 4 things, the 4 F's of a world-class program. To get results mainly, but also to create an experience, but mainly results, we need 2 things, framework and focus. Now, framework is your set of content. It's your set of your pillars, your content pillars. It's your process from someone coming in a problem and taking them to promise. It is your proficiency. It is the content, the strategy. Now, the way that you document with the framework being solid, is it good or not? Although what determines whether or not it's good is if people do it, they get results every time. Every time they execute the framework, they get results. This is a set of tutorials. This is a membership site with a set of tutorials. Yeah, the framework needs to be epic. And sometimes some of the framework will be taught in person because it has to be. So your program's not set. It's not just do webinars, just do a membership site, just coach like this. It is whatever it needs to be to get your clients results. It's your work of art. It's your baby. For us, like there's no one in the world that has a program like ours. It's completely different because all I've done is gone, what do we need? What do we need? What do we need? What do we need? Just recently, I shifted the number of clients, like our coaches that we work with as clients, shifted the number of clients that a performance coach looks after by a third. So they now have a third less clients because I found that our clients needed more one-to-one time, like they needed more attention. So I changed it. So you'll always be shifting, yeah. But from a framework, the framework is just the content, right? Frameworks the tutorials, and it has to get results every time someone does it. Focus is the most important thing. I'll say that again. Focus is the most important thing. It's the most important aspect to getting results. If you want a world-class program, focus. Focus, focus, focus. That doesn't mean you be focused. That means you need to create focus for your clients. You need to get them focused, i.e. macro focus. Goal setting, making sure they're clear on where they're going. Vision, make sure they're clear on what their vision is. Make sure that they understand what their custom plan is going to look like. That's focus. Yeah, most people don't focus on focus. So you need to get them focused. That's macro focus. But then you need to keep them focused. That is micro focus. And micro focus is the single biggest problem with coaching in this day and age right now. 2018 is the time I'm recording this. That is focus. Micro focus is the gap. So micro focus is accountability, it's custom support and help. It's keeping them focused. It's keeping them motivated, keeping them driven, being there by their side. That's why if you get a fitness coaching program and your point of difference is accountability for nutrition, because people don't usually hold their clients accountable to nutrition, you've got a world-class program that can be premium because that's what's going to get results. So for us, the reason our program's 16K and plus GST, obviously there's payment plan options, etc. But the reason that it is essentially a 16K program and why that's cheap for what we offer and why we have a $100,000 guarantee is because our performance coaches call our clients between 1 and 7 times a week. We keep our clients focused. Most people don't. And so if you want to have an edge on your competitors, micro focus. Simple as that. You need to get them focused and keep them focused. Macro focus, micro focus. Okay. If you have the content and you get them focused and keep them focused, then you get them results. Yeah. From an experience point of view, you've got family and fun. Family is creating a community. So if someone's in your group, like a Facebook group, for example, your forum, your audience, your community, and they have a win and they post that win, everyone goes, wow, it's possible. And they feel great. Like-minded people on the journey. Most one-to-one coaches don't have this. They don't have a family. And so even though someone's telling them what to do, they don't believe it's possible. Environment is the single biggest contributor to belief. I know that as a fact. Who you're spending your time around is the single biggest contributor to belief. If you're hanging around with a bunch of people that think it's easy to be successful in business, you're going to dominate. If you're hanging around people that have never run a business and they're really skeptical, you're going to have no belief. Belief leads to action. Action leads to results. Believe, act, achieve. And so family and people is the biggest environmental factor there is. So having a family where people can go through the journey together is really important. Okay. And you can do it over Facebook group and people can do Facebook lives and put their lives up and communicate in there. We have a program called Party Groups where we'll have parties of up to 5 people and they're a little accountability group and we facilitate that. And we have parties once a month where we check in and have group accountability for the goal setting and plans that they have executed. So we have that as another family instigator. We have catch up, like we have quarterly retreats. And so there's lots of different ways you could do it, but you need to have a family element. And lastly is fun. Fun is the 1%ers. Family creates results, yes, but it also creates the experience. People, they love it. They're connected. They've got a new environment because their current environment sucks. It's impossible to change in that environment, which sucks because it keeps bringing them back down. So that family creates an experience and the fun, the 1%ers, like for example, we have medallions. When people hit certain milestones, they get presented the next medallion. It's awesome. Medallion ceremonies at our retreats. It's really cool. That's an experience. That's not going to get them results. So framework and focus, having great framework and helping people have focus, it definitely contributes to experience, but it's mainly results. And family and fun definitely contributes to results, but it's mainly the experience. So if you have those four factors, your program's world class. Most people don't. That's how we can warrant the premium investment. So that is niche and program. Niche will be nailed in the growth plan session. Program will be nailed in the growth plan session. So don't worry about them. We will cover them. We will get there. So that's it for this tutorial. If you get a premium structure set up, you will dominate. If you don't, you will struggle massively. But that is it for this tutorial. I'll see you in the next one.